From the Florida Today newsroom, this is the Florida Today Show.
No one is immune to the rising gas prices, not even the not-for-profit organizations in Brevard who are working to help our neighbors who are struggling the most. Hello, Space Coast. Welcome to the Florida Today Show. I'm Rob Landers. Rising gas prices and inflating food costs are not only hitting Brevard families, they are hitting the organizations whose purpose is helping to relieve some of the burden those families are facing. This week, Florida Today's Amira Sweilem took a hard look at the struggle some of our nonprofits are facing, the drastic new demands on their operating budgets, and the best way you can offer assistance. Watch. So, Amira, I know that you are working on a story on how rising gas prices and inflation are affecting some not-for-profits in the area. Tell me about the story that you've got coming in Florida today.
Yeah, so I think we've all been impacted and have all seen the gas prices increase. I was just driving by like BP, the Circle K, and I think at the Circle K in Merritt Island, it's $4.13 a gallon. And when I first moved here about 7 months ago, that wasn't the case. I think it hovered around $3.20-ish. And I know earlier in the pandemic, things had even gone down to below $2. So maybe it's not the most intuitive thing to think about, but these NGOs have vehicles that transfer food. So for example, the South Brevard Sharing Center has this truck that they will go throughout the county to deliver food, to pick up food, and they've seen their gas prices increase, and it has been a strain on them. There's also this Second Harvest food banks who what they'll do is they'll pick up food and then they'll deliver and distribute the food, or they don't deliver, but they distribute the food to the South Brevard Sharing Center and up to 80 organizations in Brevard County. And I think they provided about 8 million pounds of food to different not-for-profit organizations in the area. And so it's a lot, and they're traveling a lot. I think they use something like 600 gallons of gas a week. So it is impacting them. And these are really like donation-based organizations. So they're definitely feeling the strain.
Okay, so when you say NGO, just explain that to me.
Yeah, it's a not-for-profit organization, which basically means, so in the case of South Brevard Sharing Center, for example, they get a lot of donations, they get some government funding, and they, for example, South Brevard Sharing Center, again, their purpose is it's a social service organization. So you can go in there, they have a food pantry. If you are in need, like let's say I needed food that day, I could go in, get a quick bag of food for the day. Anyone can walk in. For those who are registered there, and anyone can register there. And let's say you need food for 3 days, you can get food for 3 days, and that has meals like fruit, vegetables, dry goods, canned goods. If you are maybe living out on the streets and you don't have a can opener, they'll give you a pop top, although that's sort of in short supply as they have had fewer donations, though the demand has gone up for people who want food.
So not only are these organizations dealing with the rise in gas prices, but they're seeing a shortage in donations as well, correct?
Yeah, so I mean, as things, as inflation impacts a lot of people, maybe there's going to be fewer donations, and as the need increases as well, more people are going there. So it's sort of just, I guess, almost this perfect storm of events.
Okay. What do they need right now? I mean, it sounds like they need everything, but really, what are the executive directors of these organizations really kind of asking the public for at this point?
Yeah, so when I spoke to Pamela Gunthorpe, who is the interim executive director at the South Brevard Sharing Center, she shared that she's been getting a lot of requests from the community for gas cards. And you can buy these at Publix, I think even at Walmart gas stations. And you can donate gas cards so that people can use them to fill up their tanks. And the other thing is too, they would need things like peanut butter, jelly, Vienna sausages in the cans, ramen noodles, rice, fruit cups, peanut butter, I think I said, box dinners, and oatmeal. And so those are the types of foods, if you have in your pantry and, it's sort of, you would like to donate them, you can donate that. And then, of course, in the article at the bottom, we have links to all of these organizations where you can donate if you want to make a monetary donation as well.
So, you mentioned the gas cards and it sounds like those are for, the regular people that walk in off the streets. But what it sounds like to me is like the organizations themselves could use the gas cards as well. Like this is an increased expense this year that they were not budgeting for, correct?
So exactly. I was speaking to Greg Hegerson, the Chief Development Officer at Second Harvest Food Banks, and he said and again, I want to say that, they spend almost 600, they use 600 gallons of gas a week, right? Picking up food, so that it could then get distributed to these different not-for-profit organizations and they can pick it up. So they've seen their gas bill increase by 25 to 30% is what he told me. So what he mentioned was essentially what they do is really rely on the community donations. And so in times like these for not-for-profits, I think a huge aspect is the community coming together and, doing whatever they can to help these organizations if, that means donations, if that means literally just like a packet of ramen noodles that you can go over to South Brevard Sharing Center to donate. That is what Higgerson told me, that a huge thing is like just relying on the community to support.
Yeah, if you think about paying $3 a gallon for gas or $4 a gallon for gas, it stings all of us at the pump. But when you're talking about 600 gallons a week, you're going from $1,800 a week to $2,400 a week, and for a nonprofit, that's a lot of money when you have not budgeted that for your spending. So what is what's next for these organizations? How are they going to get by?
Yes. So I spoke to an economist at the University of Central Florida named Sean Snyeth, and he was telling me that things, as the demand increases and, more companies are going to start drilling oil here in the States and trying to get more gas to meet the demand, that prices will hopefully decrease by the summertime. And he also mentioned that, maybe in the middle of 2023, gas prices and just prices in general will come down. So if they can just sort of hold off till the summer, hopefully things will get better. And I think ultimately what Gunthorpe and Higgerson both mentioned about, the NGOs they work for is that it's just the community coming together and supporting each other during this time.
Right. Taking a peek at your story, I think your economist said that, and I think he's correct. So as oil production ramps up,
yes.
The price per gallon should start to drop. We're already seeing that, I think, in some places in the county. I think I've seen gas for $3.99 a gallon in some places. Places where it was really expensive. It's expensive, but above $3.20 or $4.20, I'm now seeing it, $4.09 now. So it's starting to come down. And your economist said that he's hoping that inflation will stabilize by next summer. Not this summer, next summer?
Yeah, so he had said that things would sort of equal out and stabilize by next summer, but with those gas prices, it would start getting better by this summer. And like you said, Rob, it is starting to get just like a little bit better. Now we're just 1 cent under $4. So yeah, it might just take the economy some time to bounce back.
What are you working on next?
So my colleague Finch Walker and Tyler Vasquez and I are sort of looking more into why is there homelessness in Brevard County? What are some things that impact those who are struggling to get into housing? Is there affordable housing in Brevard County? So we're sort of looking at the big, like the larger scope of these things. We're going to be looking at planning and zoning. So, and I also cover COVID issues. So.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Amira, thank you. And I look forward to talking to you on the Florida Today show again soon. Well, that's our show for this week. My thanks to Amira for joining me. If you have any questions about the topic of today's show, you can reach out to Amira at aswaleem@floridatoday.com. And if you have questions about the Florida Today show, you can always reach out to me at rlanders@floridatoday.com. That's it for now. Thanks for watching.